Hey everyone, Colin here. It is late Friday night in Northeast Ohio, but that's okay because we have the first image of Lego Bag End, which is rumored to release on April 1st. Now, image was released by Lego, so I have no problems showing it since Lego is the one that put it out there. And oh my gosh, there's a lot to break down. We're going to go into this immediate reaction here and tell you what I see. Of course, we'll do a bigger and more in-depth breakdown once the actual images are released. But from right off the bat, I see a fairly substantive bag end itself with, of course, the tree on top. But unique from the other Lord of the Rings sets that we've seen, Rivendell and Barad-dûr, there are multiple mini builds. Now, one of those mini builds is the tent where we have Merry and Pippin setting off fireworks, including the dragon firework, which I'm so glad that Lego has included here. Also, we have the tree that has the birthday banner in front of it for Bilbo Baggins. And I will note this tree looks kind of sketchy. I'm not sure what's up with that, very spiky, and I'm not a fan of how that looks in the set. Maybe I'll think differently about that when the official images are released that show more details. We also get a birthday cake, a little table there, and Gandalf's cart. Now this does clear up one rumor that we had heard earlier, which is that the Gandalf's cart would be part of a gift with purchase. Instead, it looks as though that's coming in the set, and rumor has it now that the gift with purchase is going to be a Smeagol and Deagol set. So I'm very curious to see what that will end up looking like. Now, of course, there are some really interesting minifigs here. We start with Bilbo by his birthday tree. We have Frodo greeting Gandalf. Gandalf in the cart, which notice that he's in sitting position with a bow slope. I hope that is printed. I'm guessing they'll include regular legs in the set to use when he is not in the cart. We also get Merry and Pippin, and I'll note that their hair is the singed hair look when they release and set off those fireworks, so I'm really glad to see that. Maybe they'll come with additional hair, maybe a double-sided face, so I'm curious to see if that is included in the set. We also get the grumpy hobbits when Gandalf is riding in, the wife who's, you know, mad at Gandalf, and then the husband who kind of enjoys it, but then gives him that scowling look, so that's really cool. And then we also get a minifig that is celebrating by the birthday cake. Oh, and we get a Sam. Now, one thing I notice on all these minifigs are the different waistcoats. We've got the shorter legs, looks like they're dual molded, lots of printing, and if we get different hair pieces for Merry and Pippin, legs for Gandalf. I'm really liking this. Clearly, this, by the way, is a Fellowship of the Ring bag end and not a Hobbit bag end, which is, I know, a point of discussion that many people had during the rumor phase. But now that we've got this image, we know it's coming from that, and I think they've done an excellent job of showing some of those figures. I might have wanted maybe a Sackville Baggins tossed in there, but we get the other hobbits instead. So main characters plus 3 additional hobbits, which works for me pretty well in this set. Now, some other things that I noticed in terms of pieces and building techniques right off the bat, my eye was drawn to the tent. Now, I know that that's kind of odd given the size of Bag End, but when I see pieces like that in that, you don't get a lot of those canvas type pieces in Lego sets, which tells me that the price is going up. When we see those plus the minifigs and the dual molded legs and maybe multiple hair pieces, legs, and sitting pose for Gandalf, like those are little things that could suggest a higher price point than a lower price point in the rumored range. And I haven't seen a confirmation of that price. Some other pieces that I noticed in this, lots of vegetation, lots of leaves, flowers, tree pieces, some pumpkins, and some other things that really help make the Shire set look like the Shire. I think that's fantastic that they've done that. I'm very, very happy to see a couple of other things here. So first off, the sign at the gate that Bilbo posts out there is in this set, so that's really nice to see. I'm also really enjoying the macaroni tiles that hopefully are printed. I'm not sure. Macaroni tiles really need to be printed. As for the sign, I don't know if that's going to be printed or stickered, but I'm hoping printed. But those macaroni tiles in particular look fantastic. I love what they've done there. I like the different sizes of the windows, some of the smaller ones, and then some of the larger ones. And of course, the large 4x4 macaroni tiles, I think those are around the door with that green door, look fantastic. So really excited for that. I also noticed fantastic, beautiful building technique with the boomerang type pieces for that front fence. That is really, really cool. I love that LEGO is doing that with this set. And that's a fun technique that I'm very curious to see how they built that. Some other things that jump out to me, there are some very large pieces as well. Again, suggesting that this could be the higher price point. Both Rivendell and Barad-dûr represented in terms of the pieces to the price and the price per piece ratio, pretty good. This one might be a little bit lower. You've got some very large curved slopes for Bag End, very similar to what we see at the base of the Lion Knight's castle, but those are featured prominently not only at the base of Bag End, but also at the very top. So there are some large pieces there that could increase that price point a little bit compared to what we usually have seen with those Icons Lord of the Rings sets. Some other things that I noticed are plenty of snot techniques. Look at some of these slopes around Bag End itself on the outside. Does a very, very nice job of contouring this set as opposed to the original Bag End that came out years ago for the Hobbit sets that was much more of using conventional building techniques. Another thing that you may have not noticed is that there are a lot of angles in this set, not just with the snot techniques and the angled slopes and all those, but on the edges, you've got these windows that are angled away from the main door and window section. So that's a fun technique. I'm looking forward to see how they did all of that. Another really cool building technique that I see is with the mailbox. Check that out. You've got the 1x1 by 2/3 snot pieces that are curved on the back. You flip them upside down where the stud faces down, and it looks like you've got a beautiful little mail slot right there. Perfect in terms of the scale. I love what LEGO did with that. Another thing that I noticed, I forgot to mention with the minifigs, but there is a cool skirt piece with the more generic Hobbit female that is fantastic. I love that we're getting that. And again, just more accessories, more little details that we're getting in the set, which is exactly what I want to see when it comes to the Hobbit overall. So kudos to LEGO on this. And of course, we've got some really cool slopes with the tree above Bag End. I'm very curious to see how that comes together because that's very, very much more substantive than what we saw in the original Bag End set. Another thing that I really like, there's that cool bench there in front of Bag End, and you've got some nice cobblestone or stone sidewalk or walkways that are going up to the door for Bag End. So that is really nice. I'm glad that LEGO is paying attention to those details. And this might be small to you, but I really enjoy this because I love the scene where Gandalf rides the cart into the Shire and then you see Bag End, but I like that they've included the cart and the building techniques with fireworks in the back look really good. So I'm very, very excited to see that. All in all, this promises to be a really incredible set. We're going to find out more details very, very soon. And when they do, you know that you'll get a full breakdown from us here at Building Together. So make sure you subscribe. And oh, by the way, always remember to keep building together.